We're live. Finally, huh? Good Lord. It's already 10:40. I'm just getting in. I had a little bit of hibachi. That's a long day today. And I had my clients tonight, my regular Monday clients. I mean Friday. What's up, Chan? How you doing, Bubba? First blood tonight, huh? Good to see you, man. How was your week? How's everything going at the church? You know, I like to hear that. Yeah, good, man. There's nothing wrong with a long day. Look, there's nothing more satisfying than laying your head on the pillow at the end of the night, exhausted. You know you earned every second of that day, and every second of that rest that you need is earned. That's great, man. Good for you. You, how's your head? How's your mindset? You doing okay? What's up, Ryder? Ryder. Rock-a-doodle. What is that, buddy? Great to see you too, Rock-a-doodle. What is this you did? 1MTH. What does that mean? Is that some kind of, I don't recognize that. Thank you, whatever it is. Oh, silver. It's a membership. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Oh, you like my first 1 month member. How about that? I'm about to give some props to Rock-a-doodle. The first 1 month member. Now I got to do a live stream and just me and Rock-a-doodle. Members only. Greetings from Tokyo. Jenny Gen X. That's badass, Rock-a-doodle. Thank you. You know, you're a huge contributor to this channel, man. Much respect. Thank you. You don't know how much that helps, man. That's awesome. All right, everybody, welcome in the Proud Masculine live stream daily. Where are we at? April 11th. Good, man. I love you being here. I really do. April the 11th. That's crazy. Long fucking day. I'm just getting on this thing. I just walked in the door. We're doing some work on the house. Yeah, April of 2025. Sure is. Shit. We're going to be on here and we're going to be talking about Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. Watch. Well, you live in Alaska. Darren says, hey, buddy, I appreciated your talk. I think there was a couple of nights ago. When it comes to the woman factor, you have a lot of knowledge in that regard. Well, thank you, man. That's my job, brother. I love to be able to help in any way I can. And here's what people most often overlook about having a complete life is you also have to understand how to manage your love life, which is getting a better understanding of women. You can have all these things going on in your life, amazing things in life. And if you're with the wrong person, it'll derail everything. If you don't understand how to lead a relationship, keep it intact, set your boundaries, but lead from example and action, not just mouthpiecing. You know, I tell guys, and this is true, the most important person you're going to have in your life is the woman you have kids with. That could determine the whole course of your life, and having a miserable life full of crap or an amazing life with your family. And even if you're dating, but you see, if you're dating, you have the option to, if it's getting too far out of hand and just doesn't look like things are getting better and she's not being cooperative and complying and she's working your plan, you can break up with her, right? It's a little different with a marriage, especially from the religious perspective where divorce is not supposed to be an option. But we'll get into that another night, all of what that means. But thank you for paying attention, man. We'll be talking more about it. Tonight, I actually want to talk about, boy, I'm tired, y'all. As soon as I got my belly full, I knew that was a mistake. We're going to run through this. This is something really important that me and Mrs. Proudmasculine discussed last night. Had a good conversation about is intentional gratitude. What's up, Orion? Welcome in, man. Hey, bro. Bro. That word's used a lot nowadays, isn't it? Yeah, and it doesn't help that I just ate some hibachi, rice and shrimp and steak. I do remember you, Orion. I do. Good to see you back, man. Hit that like. Whoever's sitting in here, smash that like button. Or if you're just coming in, get that like hit for me. Help a brother out. Get the channel back in circulation. Somebody was telling me the other day about making shorts. I think it was Baby Blue. Oh, hibachi. You don't understand, Router. I got up at 6 o'clock this morning. I haven't stopped. We renovating the kitchen here. Y'all want to see the kitchen, how it's coming out? I'll take y'all through a little walkthrough. Great, Darren. Thank you, man. Good to see you as always. Thank you for the recognition, too, brother. That means a lot. All right, come on. We'll go take a quick walk, then I'll get on my point. Look at this. You think she's the one working all day. Hey, Fancy. 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 What are you doing, baby? You think she's the one that's been working all day. Well, she got dirty yesterday. She was outside running around the whole time. She had to get a haircut and a bath today. All right, let's see. It's a mess, y'all, I'm telling you now. Huh? Look at that. If you notice, all of the cabinets are getting painted. You remember how it was all wood cabinets? Everything is getting painted. And so we're going to start with the cabinets first, right? And you see this trim. I replaced the trim here. You see this trim and the way it runs up now? And like above the door up there and around here and down and a few spots down here at the bottom. Same thing. This is going to be changed out into something. This is a second part of this. So I'm not fooling with the vent right now. But like this trim and the way I have it running up top, that's all. I put all that in. I took all the old stuff down, put that new trim up. So we have everything taped because the next phase is the wall and the whole backsplash. And the hood vent is all going to be modified and redone. So Let me see, I gotta get out of the kitchen. And this is the color. I had to lay the doors out inside. We ran into a problem at the end of the day. So this is gonna be the new color. DT on. DT is in it. So yeah, that's the new color. It's called agreeable gray. And where that hood ranges, I don't feel like explaining all that, but that's what I've been doing for the last 3 days straight. From the time I get up to the time I go to bed. Billy the Kid, good seeing you, man. Thank you for dropping in. Billy said he's got drill tomorrow. What, you got the whole weekend, huh? There's bedrooms, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. 4 bedroom, 3 baths. And I got a friend of mine helping me. There you go, you getting recruited, Billy. Putting on the soldier hat, huh? All right, we got all the small talk over with. Let's dive into it. What I came here to tell you tonight. And this is a very, very good topic. And me and the missus were having this conversation last night about gratitude. Oh no, this dude's a professional painter and he ain't doing it for free. Shit. No, this dude's like a 30-year painter. No, this dude ain't no joke. He's probably the most in-demand painter in these parts. He's got a little bit of a social, I think he's like borderline Asperger's. And I'm telling you, by the end of the day, I had enough of him. Enough. But he does such good work. We were supposed to start Monday. I got rained out over the weekend, so I had to, Asperger. You never heard of that? It's your first time hearing about the Asperger's? Hold on. Yeah, Ryder, this dude ain't like, hey, buddy, let me come give you a hand for free. No, man. He's a professional. He does really good work. Like you see all this painting in here, like all that, the ceiling, the walls. Well, I did that wall because it's all him. Him and I both. Well, anyway, he's good. He's a little neurotic at times, but got to take the good with the bad. I think next time I'll be wise to get him by the day. Pay him by the day. Anyway, that's it. Enough about that. Let's get into the topic. Mrs. Proudmasculine and I were having this conversation last night. And it's, you see, her and I have some of the best conversation. We get into real important life stuff, at times. And this is probably why we go so well together, because we're both capable of that. And we like talking about deep shit. Like, I'm not a big small talker. I mean, we will because we're around each other, but anyway, it was about the human's default setting is negative, right? And that's just that's the laws of the universe. There's more negative than there is positive energy. It's a stronger pull. So if you remain at rest, your default as a human, and time out, we got to talk about this. Billy the Kid said, y'all gave me some confidence last time I started talking to a girl. Fucking A, man. How's it going? You better jump on a call with me, brother, and get ahead of your shit. Do you like her? Am I cutting in and out? It seems like nobody's answers are coming. She's cute, huh? Do you like her? I'm asking you, do you like her? Is it a legitimate prospect for something worthwhile long term? Y'all don't know how tired I am. I shouldn't say that on here. I'm just... All right. Why the hell is there only 3 people in here? I'm starting to get a little discouraged about that. Y'all don't know what YouTube's doing me. Y'all just don't know. We'll get it back right. All right, anyway, I'm going to stop the chat here because I want to get my thoughts out before it gets too late. And what it is the perspective, your awareness and your self-awareness to intentionally practice gratitude, right? And I know people are thinking, I forget, and society as a whole forgets how important gratitude is and what that means and how that translates and has the trickle effect into the rest of your life and every part of your life. And I've gone over this on a surface level once about how important it is to stay grateful and recognize gratitude. But, I mean, if you can just change simple things, it shifts the whole dynamic of your day in your life. What you do is you build a pattern and build a habit of seeing things from a grateful perspective before you start complaining. By changing that to your default setting away from negative it's life-changing. It changes your whole way of thinking, your whole approach to life, your whole approach to situations. You know, when things come up, you don't get bogged down into, oh, why me, and this is happening. You start thinking from a place of, you know, what am I supposed to learn from this? What is God teaching me? What's coming up next that I have to get ready for? When you start seeing things through the lens of, I get to instead of I have to. Just changing those 2 words from have to get to. I have to get up for work. I have to go work out. I have to go do something for the kids. I have to go do something for the wife. You know, I have to call her. I have to, you know, call this customer and arrange an estimate time. And you change all of the have tos to get tos. That automatically implies gratitude. And what that does over time is it shifts your perspective and it changes it rewires your brain, it reprograms your brain to where you're able to start naturally seeing the gifts of life, the everyday things that we take advantage of and complain about and overlook. Oh, I have to go here and get in traffic. It's a 40-mile drive. Say, no, I get to hop in my truck, go drive my nice truck. And, you know, with an opportunity to go land a job and make some money and help somebody renovate something in their house and make a difference, then I get to come back to my house. I get to. And I get to come back to my house and my girl and a dog, you know. And I know it sounds, on the surface, it may sound simple and corny, but this is dead ass serious. This is real talk. It would, within a week's time, you're going to see such a drastic change in your attitude, your outlook, your perspective. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to be less prone to getting sick and getting angry, having blow-ups, being in a negative mindset, because here's the thing. Gratitude and negativity cannot coexist. It's one or the other. You can't be negative and grateful at the same time, nor can you be grateful while you're negative. The two cannot, it's total opposition. It's like north and north poles, they resist. And if you don't believe me, try it. Try when you get up tomorrow morning saying, I get to wake up and go to work. Or I get to go wake my children up and get them ready for school. I get to jump in my car and I get to go participate at work, or I get to go to the grocery store and then you start really breaking all these things down. And you can break them, you can drill down and break them down to little bitty I get tos. I get to go to the grocery. I get to buy food for my family. I get to recognize and have an opportunity to appreciate my hard work, my hard-earned money going in to nourish my family. Then I get to go home and share this food with them and eat with them and talk to them and get to know them better and ask how their day was. That's just how it starts taking off. Before you know it, you start recognizing all these amazing moments of your life that we miss because we usually bog down and, oh, I got to pay bills. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I have to do this. And you completely lose sight of how great your life really is. And if you can summon yourself to do that first thing in the morning, I highly recommend writing a gratitude list every morning. When you get up, when you're still kind of half sleeping, because that's right before you go to sleep and right after you wake up, is your mind is the most susceptible to suggestion. This is the time you're supposed to meditate. You're supposed to affirm things. That's why it's so important that you got to watch what you're thinking before you go to bed and watch your attitude as soon as you get up. And if you noticed, if you have kind of a crappy attitude when you wake up, like I have to go to work. Oh, I have to get up early. You'll notice when you go to sleep worrying about all the shit that's going to happen tomorrow. You can't even sleep in peace. So naturally, you're going to wake up aggravated, not excited about the day. Try it. I challenge everybody in here right now. I tell you what. Hold on. No, I can't speak my mind, Rada. Not on YouTube, anyway. Baby Blue. Oh, look, she gave us a Bible verse. Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged. The Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Beautiful. Thank you, sweetie. B says, I'm serious about talking off YouTube. I'm being honest. I need someone who's going to tell me what I need to hear because my father damn well won't. Yeah, I'm dead fucking serious. Do you think I'm playing? Look, I told you I'm doing a giveaway. I don't know if you were in here the other night. I'm going to let it run for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, I want an email. First, you got to join the Telegram group. Then you got to send me an email telling me a little bit about yourself and what would you want to get out of working with me? What would be something that you really want to address right now that's present in your life? And what that means to you overall. What would you want to get out of us working together? Send me a detailed email, about 2 paragraphs, not too long, because I don't have to read it all. I just want to hear what you have to say and where your head's at. Yeah, Chicago. That's who I was talking to. Who do you think I was talking to? Considering. Yeah, well, Ryder, you said it's crazy considering the stuff you've seen. It's the narrative. They don't want me on here talking about men being masculine and So Darren says you talked about getting up in the morning and meditating. Well, what I do is spend time with my God in the morning and reading his word. There's no better way to wake up. And how do you feel after that, Darren? How do you feel about moving on with the rest of your day? Knowing that the first thing you did was centered yourself steeped in God, first thing in the morning. God's care, God's protection, God's direction. That set you off in a whole nother trajectory for your day in life. I'm telling you, it works like a charm. I'm not bullshitting. Billy, you still on here? Chicago. All right, did you hear what I said to do? I've gotten a few emails already, but I'm going to go through all of them and see. I'm going to be very honest and very discerning about the person I picked to do the free session with. But you got to be in the Telegram group. That's one requirement, which you should be on there anyway if you're a member of my channel, a part of my channel. Then go into the email in the description, proudmasculine@gmail.com, and send me an email just like I asked. Yeah, there you go. LW said, copy that, Billy? Get to it. Go do it. I've got a few in there already, but I want to hear. I would love an opportunity to work with you. If not, you're going to have to pay, brother. But I've said since the beginning of the year, I've been wanting to do a giveaway. I could never really figure out how to structure it. And it actually came to me the other night in the middle of a live. LW said, I just ran a personal record in the mile at my track meet yesterday. I took 6th out of 30. My time was 5:33. That's fucking beastly numbers, sir. Email me Monday. Why do you wait? That tells you right there you don't want to do it. You're going to wait all the way till Monday? Go email me right now. Show me you're serious. Like, why would you tell me that? Get busy. Monday, you shouldn't even be on here right now. You should be sending me an email. Get on it. Act. Immediate, massive action is what changes circumstances and things in your life. Not wait until Monday. Like I just brought you a sizzling ribeye on a silver platter and told you don't have to pay for it. And that's like you telling me, no, I'll eat it tomorrow. No, sir. Get on that. Well, you got drill. I know you ain't at drill right now. Are you? Anyway, back to the, I challenge everybody to get up in the morning and start your day with a gratitude list. While you're still fuzzy, before you brush your teeth, after you take a leak, of course. And get out first thing while the house is quiet, nobody's up. And get yourself some quiet time and sit and write 5 things that you're grateful for in that moment. It seems silly, but I guarantee you write more than 5. And I guarantee you start your day off feeling better. You set the trajectory of your day to be a positive, productive day. Now, I'm not one of these people who say positive mindset all the time. That's just not how it works. But if you let things happen the way they are naturally, if you let life just flow, you're going to find that you're sliding back into the negativity and the pessimistic mindset. Intentional gratitude. Gratitude, you have to be intentional. The more you practice that, the more you're intentionally grateful and recognize it, the more it becomes a part of your everyday thinking. Just try it. You ought to jump in the Telegram and put the gratitude list in the Telegram every morning. That's right, baby blue. Procrastination keeps the problem stewing. No, man, that's fine. Whatever email you have access to, kid. Just make sure you announce it's you, but I'll probably figure it out. What's up, Trapathy? Darren says, when I sit down with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and talk to him, I tell you my day is a lot better. How can it go bad if that's how you start your day? How can you set off to the day like, I got to do this again. I got to do that again. Life is so bad. If you woke up and started talking to God immediately, I'm going to answer this real quick for DT, and then I'm going to sleep, y'all. I'm kind of fading. Look, I apologize not coming on the last 2 days. It's just been, well, last night was Mrs. Proudmasculine's birthday, right? So we had a little dinner to celebrate. The night before, I was just smoked. Couldn't go anymore. But it'll even back out. We'll get back on our regular schedule. And thank y'all all for hanging in there with me. But to answer DT's question, how does one fix a fractured relationship with said wife? And is it cheaper to keep her or leave her? Well, good question. This is going to take a lot of brain power. I'm going to try to condense it, and maybe we can get into the weeds of it on another live. DT, would you Instagram me that question, and I'll readdress it, and I'll get deeper into each part of that question on another, because that's actually a really good topic. My front yard is the rocky coastline of the Atlantic Ocean. I live every morning sitting out there with my coffee. Godly. I bet that is. Hell yeah, it is. Billy, it's in the description. If you go look in the description of this live. All right, Darren, good night, brother. Yeah, I'll tell her you said so when she gets home. So look, here we go. Let me get DT's question answered. Boy, DT with the two-piece from Mrs. Proudmasculine. Some W's in the chat for DT. Hooking it up. Thank you, brother. I'll tell her. All right, now to your question. I keep getting sidetracked because I'm tired. How does one fix a fractured relationship with said wife? All right, first part of the question. First thing you got to do is understand where you went wrong. What is going on and where is the origin of said issue? Because if you really look at things honestly from a brutally honest perspective about yourself, something that's going on has kind of been happening all along, and you just put your blinders on, you ignored it, or it's something along the way. Look at that, 11:11. Or there's something along the way where you dropped the ball. So the important thing is to be brutally honest with yourself and look back at when, a fractured relationship could mean so many different things, right? Ultimately, it's a relationship where there's clearly a disconnect, an emotional disconnect. There's resentment and there's contempt, right? It's typically what you think. Now, if a woman has cheated, she is to be dumped and never spoken to again. You can't tolerate it. If she's the mother of your children, you've got to move on and just keep it strictly business with the little lady about the kids. Now, if it's something, and this happens a lot in relationships, how one thing is that you meet, you fall in love, you go through the honeymoon phase, and you see some red flags, but you ignore them under the guise of, I don't want to lose her. So I'm going to overlook this little thing and we'll deal with it as we go, or it'll get better. Whatever rationalizations and lies that men tell themselves about, oh, she didn't mean that, oh, she's tired, or, it's not that bad. And it usually starts smaller. But you know deep in your gut that it's not something you agree with or want to put up with, but you do. Honestly, it's because you're kind of getting some steady pussy now and you don't want to derail that, right? That's most men's predicament. And like, she does have great qualities, some of the things that she does present and bring to the table. But there's these things that are and they keep getting worse and worse and worse because you don't address them, because you're hoping they'll just go away. You'll turn a blind eye. So you got to go back to the origin of that and see what it is you ignored and why you ignored it. Real important, why did I ignore this? Because you may not like to hear this, fellas, but this is going to be about you fixing this fractured relationship. I mean, at the end of the day, when resentment, contempt, and disrespectful behavior appear in a relationship, it's because you've allowed it. You've allowed it to a degree where it's gotten out of hand, or it's obviously done enough damage to where you're full of contempt and resentment, and she is for you. So you got to go back to the point of origin of the red flags. Then ask yourself, why did I allow someone to treat me like this? Why did I tolerate that? And really look at that honestly. That's the quick version of that. And then obviously, once you find the point of origin of say it's, disrespect. And I mean, also, it could be something that you've done that contributed to that. And if that's the case, you need to mend that. Either way, it's going to take time, but it can be done. Now, if it's gotten so far away, trying to, work on things and fix things. Like I said, if you're not married for years, it's best to go put your energy into somebody else. And I know it's easy to say, it's easier said than done to just move on from somebody. But, all right, we won't get into all that right now. That's just another option. And then you actually have to address, why did you allow? What's wrong with you that you allowed someone to get to the point where they can treat you like that regularly? Or did you do something to trigger that resentment and contempt? And it's unresolved with her. It's still your job to go back and look at your part. Most important is your part. You got to know what you did first before anything gets fixed. And if it was something you did, you need to acknowledge it. Most importantly, you acknowledge it to yourself so you can begin to repair that. Say if you have this anxious attachment and you have fear of abandonment, and you like when she does certain things, it seems like she's trying to pull away, or she's purposefully trying to disrespect you and create distance when she's really not. It's your behavior and your perception. That can wear people down. And then if she has the anxious attachment and suspicious and all the time, well, you got to look at, this is something I overlooked in the beginning, why? That way you can answer that and fix that. Then you can begin to solve the problem within the relationship. But it starts with you. There's so many different scenarios. I can't there's no way I can begin to cover even a fraction of them. But that's the basis. That's the very basic description. Next, is it cheaper to keep her or leave her? That depends. Obviously, if you're in a toxic relationship, toxic marriage, because obviously it's cheaper to keep her don't apply to girlfriends unless you're common law married or legally married. It's never cheaper to keep her, and it's never worth it. If things have gotten that bad to where you're asking that question, and again, if it gets to that point where you're sitting down, do I leave her or is it cheaper to keep her? You need to go look back at the origins of this. That's where the problem is going to be fixed. You first. I'm telling you, there's no other way around it. Because if you can't understand and repair what it is with you that either behaved that way, caused it, or tolerated that, you're just going to keep repeating the same pattern over and over. Even if you leave her, it's going to show up in the next relationship. This is why I press on y'all to do the work. Do the self-work. Do the deep inner game. Deal with that. Or you just subconsciously, that will come out in every relationship. Different person, same circumstance, every time. Ask me how I know. And it's not until you really confront, work through, and heal some things about yourself that could be huge deficiencies in terms of, how you show up in a relationship. Maybe you don't know how to lead. Maybe you're too passive. Maybe you're too aggressive. Maybe you're not present enough, emotionally available and checked in. Or maybe you're too damn emotionally and you're needy. There's a bunch of different things. But that needs to be traced back, dealt with, and healed. Or it'll never get better. And like if it is a disrespect thing and you go back, you trace the origin where you started letting it slide. And then after that point, it's a matter of, oh, wait, we're talking about cheaper to keep her. That's right. Yeah, it's never worth keeping somebody if it's come to that. It's really not cheaper because with more freedom and flexibility in your life, she's going to get some money from you for a little while in a divorce. And if you have kids, you're going to have to pay child support. But it frees you up for more time. And nowadays, if you want a divorce and you are competent, and this is some cases, you can fight for joint custody or majority custody of the children as the guy. It takes a lot more legwork, and you got to show a lot more proof and competence than her, but it is possible. And that way she would actually be paying you child support, or it would be 50-50. Nobody pays anybody. But anyway, with the free time and the less stress and bullshit you have in your life from dealing with somebody who's intolerable and makes your life hell, you're actually going to do better and make more money. And you're going to have less to spend on a day-to-day basis. So it's never cheaper to keep her. If it's gotten to that point. If you've exhausted all the other options and nothing's working and it's just a repeated pattern of toxicity, no, just end it. But there's a strategy for that too. There's a tactful way that you go about doing that. Thank God for another day, me and my family. I surely thank him for being able to see all the colors of this beautiful world. Well, that's beautiful. Baby Blue. So such a sweetheart, isn't she? Billy, I'm going to tell you one more time. I was telling you, I explained it exactly what to do. I'll tell you what, I'm going to move on. When we get off, go back and watch the video part where I described it. If you really want it, you do that, because I explained it in great detail already. So it tells me the whole time I'm talking, you weren't even paying attention. So you're going to have to go back in the video and find where I described exactly what I want you to do in the email. DT, did you not hear me telling you how tired I am? I can't be answering all these long-ass questions. He says, PM, can you explain to the chat how men get complacent in long-term relationships? All right, I'll answer that really quick. You're welcome, sweetie. Real quick, PM, can you explain to the chat how men get complacent in long-term relationships? Sure. It's why men get complacent in anything. You take shit for granted. You get into this relationship, it's hot and heavy. She's so sweet, she's so compliant. You get close, and you begin to take her presence for granted. And what a lot of men do is once they get comfortable, and this happens more often than not, and a lot of the time on the, well, it's about what and what to the degree of which sex causes that or does that. And what happens is you get complacent. So you come into a relationship and you have everything going for you. The newness, all of the chemicals and the bonding chemicals and all the oxytocin and all these beautiful things flowing through your body, which brings you together. That's the honeymoon phase. This is where you share that, blissful experience for a little while, right? And you can look at it like there's almost nothing you can do wrong. There's almost nothing you can do. Nothing she can do wrong, nothing you can do wrong. And you just, oh, I'm so in love. She's the best thing ever, da-da-da. And what'll happen is inadvertently, and the reason she was so attracted to you and fell for you so hard because of the way you showed up in the beginning, the guy you were in the beginning, all the attributes that you displayed, which was so attractive to her. Like an example, a guy who goes and hangs out with his friends, is involved with working out, has a cool social life, has a hobby, and takes care of himself. And when you go in a couple of years and you get complacent by thinking, well, I have her now. She's not going anywhere. Because for so long, you couldn't mess up. There was nothing you could do if she didn't like you or didn't want to still have sex all the time. She's always pleasant. She's always sweet. Always wanted to lay by you. Always wanted to cuddle, all these things. Then you start noticing her getting a little distant. You start getting, I'm tired. When it's sexy time, just an overall shitty attitude, you'll notice a whole tone changes. Tone of her voice, her body posture around you, and you can start feeling a little separation, like, whoa, what's going on here? And she starts to lose attraction a little bit. But in the meantime, you quit hitting the gym. You quit being so active and social. You started making her this huge priority over everything. Or you come home, you get on a video game or watch TV when you get home, eating like shit. You don't really have anything interesting or compelling to say about your day or your life, or some compelling and interesting thoughts about how to express yourself, things you think of, and you become you're unrecognizable because you essentially let yourself go and you're not the same man she fell in love with. And that's what happens. You start taking a presence for granted. And then, you just get this comfortable place where, oh, she's not going anywhere. I don't have to keep trying. You quit dating her. You quit flirting with her. Guys, that never stops. A lot of my clients come in and they want to know how to get laid, how to pick up chicks, how to meet women. I'm like, dude, that's easy. That's easy. I can show you that in about 6 weeks. I'll be getting you laid 7 days a week. And, but that's the easy part. And this is what I try to explain to people. Being able to keep her attraction up over a long period of time in a long-term relationship and keeping it just as sexy, just as interesting, just as desirable as when you first met. Obviously, it's going to drop some, right? You can't relive your honeymoon phase. The chemicals that set off in your body for that beginning bonding process just don't come as strong and freely as they did in the beginning. There's a biological reason why that happens. But you can remain attractive to her. Now, look, no matter what you do, you know how we were talking about, energy and fluctuation. The same thing in a relationship. The attraction is going to rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall. That happens. There's going to be a switch in the dynamic where you're going to be the one pursuing a little bit. She's going to do a little bit of running. And I don't literally mean like hardcore pursuing, but you're going to notice that you're going to be giving effort and doing this, and she's going to kind of sit back. Then eventually it's going to shift over to you. You're going to be the one laying back. She's going to be the one putting in a little more effort. That's nature. That's just the way energy. It expands and contracts, and that's all that is. That's the normal passage of time, expansion and contraction. Everything in life goes by the same cycle. Everything. Relationships are no different. But the thing is through these times that you're able to remain the calm, centered, attractive guy that she loved, that's strong-minded, strong-willed, kind of got a little bit of I don't give a fuck attitude. And look, 1 year, 2 years, 20 years, you still got to flirt with her. You still got to make her feel like your girlfriend. You still got to tease her a little bit. You still got to make it exciting. You can start a little flirty text early in the morning, let her know what's going to happen when she gets home. Flirt a little bit. Do some foreplay by text. You still got to walk in one night. So go get a shower. We're going somewhere. I mean, not that dry and plain, but walk in. I got some big plans for you tonight. What do you mean? Go put that little sexy black dress on. I'm going to show you. Oh, God, I don't feel like it. I'm not taking no for an answer. Either you go change or I'm going to bathe you and dress you. Make it fun. And actually take her out on a date. Do something exciting like you would have done in the beginning. Never stop that. Being random, being spontaneous. And I know sometimes you're not going to have the energy and the wherewithal and the attention to give her, but you got to make time. Never stop dating your girl. Even if you're married, she's still your little cute girlfriend. And you got to treat her that way. Because guess what? If you don't, somebody else will. And the last thing you want to do to a woman, fellas, listen close. The last thing you want to do is bore a woman. You can do things. You can get her pissed off. You can make her horny. You can make her happy. You can make her sad. But don't let her get bored. They need that emotional fluctuation. They need that emotional fix. Boredom is a relationship killer. In other words, you ever heard familiarity breeds contempt? If it's the same thing all day, every day, same time, same shit, same position, same food, same restaurant, that's boring, y'all. And you should obviously actually have a little more vigor and zest for life in you where you don't want that to happen anyway. You want to lead an interesting life. Even if it's interesting at times is, like I work a lot and so does Mrs. Proudmasculine. So we have a very routine life where we do things day to day. We pretty much know what we're doing. And it's something as simple as go take a walk outside. Listen, I'm not even kidding. Go get a blanket, make some sandwiches, and go have a picnic in the backyard. Throw her in a car and go stand by the river. Like little things like that. Obviously, you want to do more than that, like nights out, Um, nights where you're like, okay, TV's off tonight. I got to talk to you about something. Make it serious. And then just start asking the silly questions. Let the mood lighten up. Take her somewhere else. And it seems ridiculous, I know that, but trust me, it's necessary. You can do anything you want to a woman, just don't bore her. That's a death sentence for a relationship. A bored woman? No way. Because guess what? The fucking guy at work, the dude at the store, the hot looking dude at the store, kind of gives her a little peek and winks at her. Thinks, ooh, look at, he's giving me attention. You're bored ass. Somebody's going to get her attention. I'm not saying it's right, but that's how it happens. And it's your job as the man to keep the relationship interesting. The relationship is her job to manage as the woman, but you're the one who leads and keeps it manageable. You understand? That's life-changing fucking direction right there, y'all. Ryder, we just talked about this, and you're going to come here with your negative shit. We just talked about that. You tell me you're exhausted, don't feel like. Come on, reword that and tell me how you get to do that. Tell me how fortunate you are that you have food and dishes. And you get to come back to your awesome, comfortable couch as soon as you're done doing what you're supposed to do. Come on, we just talked about this. This whole show is about. Walking in faith. Can you help me out? I lost a lot of faith this week again. Fell into lust, and the process just gets repeated. What do I do? Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Rodra. Hit me up at proudmasculine@gmail. Refuse to get up. I'm so tired, but I need to. Going through these comments, y'all. Give me a second. All right, I ain't reading all that. PM said channel is back. What happened? Did I cut out again? DT, I love when you come on. You always got some good, interesting, interactive conversation. Well, yes, baby blue. You got to know you're still desirable. That's important. You see, this is the problem that men start thinking we think a lot of men, I'm not saying we because I don't, obviously not, but men tend to think women think like men. Like we want quiet, simple. We don't need all these emotions flowing around everywhere. Like we can be even Steven and be just fine. You want some excitement? We'll go do some dumb shit. You go get a hard workout and you feel like a freight train, or for the most time, we just want peace and quiet. We don't, like two dudes, good friends, they barely talk. Talk a little bit of shit and watch a little TV. Talk a little bit of shit, watch. Or they go and do something and you laugh a little bit, whatever. That's not the same, dude. Women do not work like that. Don't think because that's the way you like it that you project that onto her. You will lose every time. Like a lot of men say, golly, can't you just let things be good for a little while? No. You let them get bad. You let them get stale. You let them get boring. That's what you get. You got to tickle that little fucking emotional spot every once in a while. Don't be afraid to liven it up, start a little shit, get her going. Here's something that sounds silly. fellas, try this. Walk in and say, don't even talk to me right now, and just keep walking. What? Just tell her that. Just buzz her a little bit with that. And you'll see when she catches on that you were joking, she'll start laughing. Oh, you're so stupid. And hit you in the arm and hug you. And, baby, don't do that. I hate it when you do that. She loves it. I'm telling you, don't be afraid to do that. If you aren't the one poking the bear every now and then, you're going to leave it in her hands to do that. And it's going to be way worse. It's going to be way worse, guys. Stacy Cruz, blessings to you, EA13. I don't know what that means, sweetie. Well, look, y'all. DT, thanks for coming in. Good, you got us kicked off right. I like that. But I'm off to bed, y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Billy, send me that email. You're going to quit messing with me. I tell y'all the stuff. I don't say this stuff. Yeah, you do the dishes. Come on, you're my moderator. You're supposed to set an example in here. You're supposed to say, good, I get to go do dishes. All right, Billy, I just wanted to see if you heard me. I'm looking forward to seeing that email, bub. And have a good weekend at drill. I don't mean to be too hard on you, kid, but I don't have time to sugarcoat shit for you. I'm just going to be honest with you and help you. Would stop. What is that, Roderick? I don't know what that means. Anyway, yeah, if I'm saying something in here, it's for a reason, you know. The stuff I tell y'all is valuable information. All right, DT, I'll let him know, brother. Thank you. Everybody, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Please leave a comment on this video after it's archived as a recorded. Just leave a couple comments. Baby Blue's always great at that. And join the Telegram. I'd really like to see, you know what? If you're in here right now, join the Telegram, and I want you to drop a gratitude list in the morning. I'll start it off. But everybody drop 3 things you're grateful for every morning into Telegram. I'm going to do that. I'll do that tomorrow morning. And y'all, good night, everybody. See you. See you tomorrow.